My wife threatened to divorce me when I said I was going to give our daughter a silly name. So I called her Bluff.
Oh!
Alrighty. Welcome to episode 26 of Bros, Bumps, and Beers. I am the EST of Triple B, Pat Gagne, alongside Matt Tooties Gagne. And of course, the beautiful producer, the shirtless wonder, Jordan, the Jackhammer Schofield. Gentlemen.
Hi, Pat. Big swig there.
Oh, it tastes good.
I opened my beer before the episode again. Classic me.
Yeah.
I'm 3 deep. Get on my level.
That's already started.
Hey, Matt.
These Zoom ones are awful because then I just like start once the kids go to bed, and then I wake up the next morning and I'm like, oh, probably shouldn't have started before the kids went to bed because now I got to go to work.
Matt has big a dad on FaceTime vibes right now, the way he's sitting with the camera, because like I can see almost all the way up his nose, and I feel like he just needs bifocals so he can like look down at the camera the entire time.
Matt, speaking of that, have you talked to Dad on FaceTime lately?
I talk to Dad every day on FaceTime. Or sorry, I talk to the upper half of Dad's face.
Yeah. I feel like it's any dad, any parent on FaceTime ever.
My mom might be worse.
Well, you know what the worst part is? He calls you and then stares at you for 5 seconds and just stares into your soul. It makes no sense why he stares at you. And then he looks at you and he goes, well, are you going to say something? You called me, man.
And my favorite too right now, and I'm sure he does this to you, like he'll talk to the kids and stuff, and then all of a sudden he'll be like, so, what'd you do today? It's like, well, Dad,
nothing.
I have 2 young children in the middle of a pandemic. I went outside. That took half an hour to get outside. And then we were outside for half an hour. Then it took 15 minutes to get back inside. And now we're here. So that's been my day so far.
Well, at least you have something to do. He calls me. He's like, so what'd you do today? I went to work and then I walked the dog. And now I'm talking to you. That's it, he says. I'm like, what else do you want to hear, man?
It's also the timing of the phone calls. Like, I'll get a call at 1 p.m. They're like, what are you up to? I'm like, in my head, I'm like, keeping the fucking lights on, like, and then if I'm short with them, I could feel like they're like upset at me for being rude. And it's like, man, like, I don't get to go anywhere anymore. Like, I used to like be somebody in this world as a working person. And now I'm just like a guy at home trying to make ends meet.
Jordan, to be fair, when you were working and not a stay-at-home bitch and you were globetrotting, I was like, man, is Jordan like the most interesting person I know? And now you're just some fucking loser who stays home all the time.
I miss, like, even though traveling gets super fucking annoying, I also kind of miss it now. It's like kind of cool to just go to all these places and try food and beer and stuff. And now it's like, if Kilter puts out a midweek release, I'm like ecstatic. I'm like setting a reminder so I can buy it because I have
texting us 4 times. Hey, you guys gonna get it? No, Jordan, we're not. We don't get it every time it comes out.
Like, speaking of Kilter, they really gotta, like, I know we talked about it last week. They gotta relax on all these.
No, I disagree entirely. They're the only thing sustaining my life right now. I need it so bad.
Shout out Ree.
Yeah, I mean, but Ree feels the same. Like, Ree's pounding beers nowadays because she's like trying them and she's bored as shit too. Like, every day we're like, I'd like to go on vacation with you, and she's like, me too, honey. Or she'll say it to me, and we just say that every day now. It's like, what would be great if we could leave anywhere ever.
Oh, Rayanne's first thing she always talk about the wedding, which is coming up, and then she goes, so where do you want to go on the honeymoon? I'm like, I don't know, fucking Morden. I don't know. Like,
no, you don't want to go to Morden.
How about nowhere? Like, I have no idea. Like, we're not gonna be able to go anywhere for like 2 years. I don't know what the fuck she wants me to say.
I feel like we should all just do, at this rate, we should just do like a big honeymoon. We should just have all of us go somewhere together because
everyone renew their vows.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Matt can renew his vows. We'll probably have other friends who got, or I don't know if people are trying to get married, but there's going to be, when everything goes back to whatever it is, it's going to be a rush.
By the time you guys can actually go on a honeymoon, I bet you I could renew my vows at my 10-year anniversary.
Oh, Christ.
What are you at now? 8?
7.
7. Yeah, fuck, right. Yeah. I wanted to go to the Maldives.
But
That's where you wanted to go?
Yeah, that's where I wanted to go.
We wanted to go Iceland. Could you imagine Iceland? That'd be cool. We saw
Why
Zac.
would you want to go
Cool.
somewhere colder than where we live?
Okay, because we saw that documentary with Zac Efron,
Yeah, that was.
and
sick
we're like, we got to
documentary.
go. That's super cool.
Yeah.
And Zac Efron, kind of a smoke, so whatever.
Is that kind of a smoke? Zac Efron is a smoke.
Jordan,
Zac Efron.
come on, Jordan.
Yeah, no, I mean, sure. Like,
He's
it's
a
nothing-
beautiful.
He's
human
not
being.
he's not my male type, you know. He doesn't. I don't think he goes both ways.
Doesn't look like Rhea Ripley, or
Yeah, he doesn't look like Rhea Ripley. Oh no.
But you know what else is keeping us going though, Jordan? Did you play some bets this week?
You know what? Actually, that I was about to say. That's a valid point.
Here we go.
Yeah, I did. Saturday went really well. Back on my bullshit. 8-4 with the NCAA football. I'm back to my old self. NFL ended up, because I'm trying to scale back so I don't lose all my money. NFL, I went 3-2.
Didn't you swear off the NFL last week?
Yeah, that was last week though.
That was last week. I swore it off on that day, but you know what, Matt? Positive vibes only. Okay,
Yeah.
You're being a real negative Nancy right
I'm just clarifying for our listeners.
Shake it. Give us some NOLA vibes, Maddie. Come on.
Yeah, seriously.
And NCAA basketball started up. Pat went 9-8, put down every bet he could think of. You look out for Richmond. Richmond's a big deal.
Pat,
They
I
have
like where your head's
adults.
at.
They have adults on their team.
I just need you to not text me and tell me to ride with you ever again.
That was you who texted me about it. So I'm
No,
not getting
I
this.
sent you a Twitter message just informing you of a bet that had a good standing off a system, and you told me to ride with you, and I did. And not only did that bet fall into tattered pieces, but the Seahawks and Eagles right now are actively not hitting an over ever. They're doing everything possible. The Eagles have turned it over twice on 4th down so far, and this Monday day
It's a
of
nightmare.
betting is
It's
a
a nightmare.
disaster. It's a
Jordan,
disaster.
I'm never riding with you again.
No, you know what? We should just stay in each other's lanes and wish each other well.
Is this like Jordan saying he's never going to do the NFL again?
No, this is for
You guys
It's
gonna
also
ride
it's also
together tomorrow?
Monday. It's also Monday,
also
and then
Monday. But I
Wednesday
do think
changes.
Pat and I will probably cross-reference ourselves with the NFL. But I think if I stay in NCAA football and Pat stays in basketball, I think that's probably best for our own mental health.
Yeah. But you know
Matt,
what's not
did
good?
you bet on anything
Me?
ever?
I like
Yeah.
to keep my money.
Oh, so you're not very good at it.
What a loser.
So Matt's not very good at it. That was like James this week. He's like, "Oh, I took a week off. It really
Here's-
helped my mental health." Oh, so you lost so much you had to take a break? Yeah,
Here's
that's
the
great,
thing about
James. Like,
betting.
congrats on sucking.
The two sports I know the most about that I would bet on would be baseball and hockey. Betting on baseball is a train wreck.
Yeah, that would be a lot of
And
betting.
betting on hockey, Jordan's phone's ringing.
Get the
My
Probably the
phone-
parents.
I don't know. It was one. Oh yeah. No, it's too late for that. It's too late for that. This is a logical time to call me, and there's this. It's too late. It doesn't make sense.
And hockey, if you bet on the NHL is probably the easiest one for a bad team to beat a good team in my opinion.
Yeah, that's I
Yes,
wouldn't touch
hockey is random occurrence city. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like the Red Wings could just beat like the fucking Tampa Bay Lightning one night, and you'd be like, "Why the fuck did that happen?" I
They
understand.
don't even hit like an over. If you've ever done over under in
No.
hockey, it's terrible.
Why would I do that? No,
It's
that'd
terrible.
be terrible.
Never. Never. Thankful for baseball and hockey for giving me time off. In basketball, like once football season's over, I just delete the app and don't start again until it
I
starts.
did
till
I did
football's back.
hockey on not hockey, basketball on Sports Select when I was in university. Me and these two guys that I went to university with, we were losing like $5 each every day. Like we'd put a $15 ticket and we'd do like over unders, and then we tried point spreads, and I'm like, this is stupid. I'm not doing this anymore.
You know what? Whenever the CFL's back, I'm going to dive in on that. It's 4 games a week.
What the fuck? No.
4 games
There's
a
no way.
It's over.
no way
It
I've
has
done
to
that.
be over city. It's the
Yeah,
CFL.
for
It's gotta
sure.
be
You know what you
overs
just did?
everywhere.
The five Americans that listen to our show, they're like, "What the fuck is the
What's the
CFL?"
CFL? The CFL's football on steroids. There's extra people. The field's bigger. There's one less down. You can get a point.
Nobody's really that good.
How dare
Yeah.
you? City of Champions.
You know what else? Hey, you know what pisses me off worse than betting on hockey? Fucking Christmas decorating.
Oh.
Okay, we started
Pat,
that shit.
Pat's on fire
Yeah.
with the transitions
fire.
today. You couldn't have found a better way to just bring us into that.
That's you on
baby.
that's you on
Finger
fire
guns.
is Pow Pow. You're an
Oh,
idiot.
Christ. No, but I gotta bring it up because we did it. We decorated this week. We decorated this week. And you know what's stupid about Christmas? You have to uproot your entire fucking life to put up a tree in the corner of your house.
I have nothing in my living room, so we're not gonna move anything.
Why? Like, do you move all your shit because of where the tree has to go?
Well, we also had to move everything because we're getting married in our living room because people can't stay home for long enough.
Right.
So we have to make that look nice. And she's asking me all these questions, and it's like, look, all my opinions are dog shit. You should not be asking me. So she gives me two options. I pick one option. She always picks the other one. So like, let's not do this. Let's not make Pat mad and then make him put up garland. Let's just not do that. I can't do it.
What's garland?
I don't know. It's like a boa thing. It looks like a boa, like Hulk Hogan's boa.
Oh my God. Is that like the glitter boa?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the glitter ends up everywhere and it looks like you went to a shitty strip club, but really you tried to celebrate the festive season of Jesus.
You know what would be a sick tree? A Hulk Hogan themed tree.
How, you gotta explain that to me.
Red and yellow lights.
Red
and yellow lights with a red and yellow feather boa. And then just like, I don't know, a Gawker symbol on top instead of an angel.
Oh. If you don't know what that is, look that up. That's
best
good.
joke of the history
Yeah,
of the
that's
podcast.
pretty. That's amazing. That's a low-key dig at Hulk Hogan. I like
It
that.
can't have a sound box on it because it would just say brother and a racist terminology.
Yes.
Do you always have to have a booing soundtrack in the background whenever someone walks in?
You have to have shirt-sized tree coverings, and every time someone walks in, the
Oh,
shirt just
and then there's
apart.
then you have to give it like a little daughter tree and a little second wife tree, and they look the same.
Yikes.
Okay, so Matt, are you so Pat, you sound like a fake tree guy.
100% fake.
I am a fake tree guy. Matt, you
We are a real tree family.
Oh, real tree
Yes.
family. Congrats. With your allergies, I would not have guessed you go real tree.
Well, I didn't really get a say in the deal. So me and Pat grew up in a fake tree household. My wife grew up in a real tree, and when we moved in together, she goes, "We're getting a real tree," and I was like, "Sounds good, honey."
What's it like when you go to pick that thing up? Is it like a one-man army? Like, is it just you and the guy trying to put it on top of the car?
Well,
your
I've
wife's
always had a
just sitting
truck,
there
so
being
that's
like,
never,
well done, dear.
never a problem.
Oh, right.
Getting
You had
it
the
in
truck.
the house
That's
is
right.
always
That's
the
what
fun
truck guy.
part. So the tree's never heavy, like except this year because we moved. She's like, "We can get a bigger tree." I was like, "No, we cannot."
Oh, great.
Because do you know what trees are
Sweet.
not meant to enter and exit? Houses, doors.
Mm,
So you come in and
true.
all the needles fall off when you're going in, and then in like the first week or two of January, when you get rid of it, now it's like pretty dead and dry. Well, now you try to take it out through the door, and you end up with half of a tree in your house, and you have to vacuum 4 times to get rid of all the needles. So
Fa la 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 la.
I love Christmas, and I
Yeah.
enjoy decorating, but I do understand what you guys are saying about.
I no longer put up a tree due to the little puppy. We avoid it at all costs. We do put up Overwatch Santa. Overwatch
like from the video
Santa
game?
is a
What the hell is that?
Overwatch
What is
Santa
that?
is a 6-foot tall inflatable Santa I put on my balcony to look out over the condominium parking lot.
No,
That
no, you
sounds
don't.
absolutely
I do.
terrifying.
And the best part is the wind wraps around the back and pushes him forward, so it's like
Like a
he's
bobbing.
looking down when you and
That's
my
terrifying.
condo's almost right over the front door. So if you're walking to the
Oh my
front
God.
door, you cannot walk in without having Overwatch Santa playing tough defense on any sort of parking lot shenanigans.
Oh God.
But in addition to that, do you want to hear a good Schofield family Jamaican Christmas story, if you will?
Always.
Like every day.
Always.
So I want to say about 5 years ago now, it was but just when I moved out, but I just moved out, so I still went back to my parents' place to help them decorate for Christmas because I was like, God, no, I live by myself. I'm not putting up a tree. So I go back, and my dad is a fake tree guy, and from the start, the fake tree is a bit of a disaster. He, like me, is a little bit of a particular human being.
Oh, so it didn't just occur out of thin air.
No, so it's a bit of a particular human being.
Weird.
So he's putting up the tree, and we had one of those fake trees that were like a little older in the fake department. So we had like the branches were numbered along with the slots on the stem, if you will, of the trunk.
Standard,
Yes.
standard fake
So
tree,
he's putting them in, but the problem is this thing's so old that it still falls off. So like the bristles. So really, we're no better than a real tree. Like we still have bristles on the floor. And the best part about it was he would get so frustrated because this also had the old school lighting where if one of the lights is out, the whole light rig is out. So while he was trying to fix that, my sister, because we just decided this was going to be a shit show, my sister was in the corner randomly unplugging and plugging in the tree.
Oh fuck.
So he would think he has it.
It's
And then
burning out.
Sarah would be around the corner unplugging it when he think he had it and then plugging it back in. And so he's just
Losing his mind.
at this point beyond frustrated, right? So my mom and we're just laughing our ass off, and he doesn't like, he thinks it's like he's wasting his time, so he's getting angrier and angrier at us. And then finally at the end we get the ornaments on, and he goes to put the angel on top, and the angel's broken. The star, sorry, not the angel. So now he's like biblically annoyed because he's like, we've done all this to put the star on top and the star's broken. So I just look at him and I'm like, okay, I'll be your angel. It's all right. And he goes, Jordan, like, don't fuck with the tree. Like, leave it alone. So while he goes to like try to fix the angel somehow, like I had climbed up on the ladder and started to wrap my legs around the tree, like not fully weight because it would fall. And he turned around and basically I was on top of the tree flapping my wings and making bird noises, which makes no sense.
But you're an angel.
But I'm an angel, yeah. So I was like, like doing the Fly Eagles Fly logo or Fly Eagles Fly song. And the nicest part, the reason I bring that up because it really has no significance, is that a video, apparently Johnny, Sarah's boyfriend, was able to capture a video of me doing that and my dad getting angry. So I'll have to ask Johnny for said video because I feel like that deserves that deserves around Christmas time to be made public. But that's one of my favorite. There's never been a year where when we used to get the real tree or not, putting up the tree is always a debacle, and it always turns into what most of my family gatherings turn into is us 80% jokingly yelling at each other with like a 20% amount of truth put in, which is great. So that's the typical Schofield family Christmas when we're not in Jamaica, which we obviously won't be this year. So look forward to some other sort of tomfoolery if we're even allowed to get together.
Well, guys, I would like to bring a little Christmas spirit into the podcast next week. So I'm giving you fair warning. Next week, I would like to discuss your favorite Christmas things.
Like in general?
In general?
Are we talking like movies or beyond movies?
Movies,
So Die Hard?
anything. Okay? Fuck.
Yeah.
No, that's not a Christmas movie.
Jingle All the Way.
That's a
Home
good
Alone?
Christmas movie. Don't fucking start.
Home Alone's more than Die Hard.
No, they're neither are fucking Christmas. Okay, we'll table this because we're gonna talk about it next week. So your favorite Christmas things.
How about the 98 Degrees Christmas album?
That's solid.
Best album of all time.
Helen Gagne rocks that from December 1st to December 30th.
I feel like I'm giving it away. I'm just gonna maybe I should just shut up and just not. Like I feel like I'm
Michael Bublé.
I think I would like to say this might be the most highly anticipated episode of Bros, Bumps, and Beers next week if we're talking about.
Shouldn't we do that? Why are we doing it now? Shouldn't we?
Because we can do other stuff. I have other stuff planned.
I know, yeah, you're right, and that we do have a pretty hefty Christmas episode lined up, which we're not gonna have time to talk about Christmas because we have to basically do like the year-end awards for beer and wrestling.
We're gonna drink every beer we talk about, correct?
Oh, so we're gonna black out. Cool.
Yeah, this is silly season.
Yeah, I thought that's what
I hope by the grace of God, you know what? Our cases have gone down, but to a number that's still terrible. So we're trending in the right direction. You know, when it's like it's funny how with words you can be like, guys, we're trending in the right direction. And that sounds good. But if you start with 10 bullet holes in you and you reduce it to 4, it's still the context. It's still bad, right? So that's kind of where we're at.
Get stabbed 8 times and survive, and the next time you get stabbed 4 times. You're like, but I'm trending in the right direction.
Yeah, I'm trending in next week I can get myself down to 2 stabbings, maybe.
I think we're trending. We're trending towards the idea that before 2021, the ESTF Triple B, Matty 2T's Gagne, and the Jackhammer will be in the same room once again in the studio.
And we will have to call a cab.
You know what Yes, I think something, and we may want to do this on we may want to do like a Sunday, everyone take the Monday off, or just try, maybe I don't know, we'll have to find a night. But I was gonna say, like, on the one hand, getting back before Christmas is important. If we have to forego Christmas to get back before the Royal Rumble, I believe that is the true Christmas gift we could get, is getting to watch the Rumble. Everyone that listens
to the show, everyone listening to the show, 2021, we're coming in hot.
Yes, we are. Okay? It's
we got some shit planned, and we're fucking doing it. COVID be damned. Fuck you, COVID. We're gonna make this work, and it's gonna happen.
We got 6 months left on this podcast license, so we're gonna use all 6 months of that.
I forgot that we do that. We have a hosting subscription. Every time you bring it up, I'm like, oh my god, that's right. We like paid for shit. So ideally, we need to
no weeks off, baby.
No weeks off. Yeah, we're on a bit of a shot clock.
Yeah, but hey, you guys feel like reviewing some beers?
Fuck yeah.
Matt, you got something interesting. Hit us out with the leadoff hitter here.
Do I ever have something interesting? So I did something I don't do a lot. I called an LC today.
Only for the desperate. Only for the desperate.
You're at that point, eh? You're at that point.
Oh boy.
So last night I was like, what am I going to review? I have some stuff in the fridge I could review, but for some reason, I really, really wanted to review what I'm doing today. So I look on the website and I'm like, of course the brewery's closed. Of course, it's Monday.
Why are they all closed on Monday? They're all closed on Monday. Why?
I don't know. I don't know why they're closed on Monday.
Do they wanted to give themselves a day off from all the No, that's not all the customers. That's not
so
in all seriousness, it's cost cutting.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
And it allows them time, I think, to like
recharge, right?
And stuff.
They don't have a lot of staff, right? So you're in there all the time.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, so this mixer pack, this TCV winter mixer pack is in the LCs. I know it went out like last week. So I have a former student who works at the Sage Creek LC. I have a former student who works at the Dakota LC. Message both of them. No, we don't have it. Son of a gun. So then I called the Celta one this morning. Guy can't remember his name, but delightful conversation we had. Went at lunch today, picked it up from the Celta LC. Had never been in the Celta LC. Very nice in there.
Very nice in there.
Very nice. Lots of selection too.
Very nice in
there. But I am reviewing, though, getting to the beer, the peanut butter and jelly porter from Canada Brewing.
Sounds disgusting.
It's funny how there's some companies you hear, like if I heard Kilter come out with a peanut butter and jelly porter, I'd do a backflip. And then there's some companies where they come out with the peanut butter.
So,
like if Grain to Glass came out with that, I'd probably use it as gasoline.
So that's kind of what drew me to this, was the fact that I was like, this is different than anything I have seen TransCanada come out with ever, maybe. Like, they have this cranberry stout that's out right now, but other than that, they don't do a lot of dark stuff. Like, they have their brown ale, which is pretty good, but I was like, I gotta try this.
No, with cherries.
Well, it's still good. It just doesn't have cherries.
I thought that was better than Pat gave it credit for.
Oh, it was definitely better than Pat gave it, but there was not a lot of cherry flavor in there.
No.
Anyways, getting back to so I poured this out. I poured this in a glass, put it to my face, and went, whoa, what am I about to drink? Because it did not smell real good. The nose on this, not overly appetizing.
Not good, Bob.
Great, Bob.
Almost like a burnt, kind of funky, I don't even know. Took a sip. It's peanut forward. I'm not going to say peanut butter, and I'll get to that in a second. It is peanut forward. You get a little bit of sweetness on the finish, but I was expecting like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's in my head. I was like, I want a liquid peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Didn't get that.
Who would want a liquid peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Pat, who would want a liquid key lime pie? Had that this past weekend. That was delicious.
My hand's still up on whatever was said twice.
Yeah.
You know what's really good, low key? Peanut butter and jelly wings.
Oh,
Very good.
There's no way that's good.
feel
So
like
good.
that would be delicious.
It's so good.
But yeah, so once you get past the strange nose, it's palatable. It's good. It lacks, and we talked about how if you cut this podcast properly, it would not. It lacks that creamy mouthfeel.
Oh.
I'm looking for peanut butter, like the creaminess of peanut butter, and I didn't get it. I was also looking for more sweetness, like on the finish from the jelly, and I didn't really get that. It's good. But it's not what I expected. The amount of work I put into trying to find this, I was pretty disappointed.
Is Matt so easy to interrupt because he has such long pauses between his
Yes.
thoughts?
Yeah, like I never know if he's done a sentence.
And also, creamy mouthfear is the name of something else entirely. I'm sure there's a series and there's
Creamy
PT
mouth feel, I believe.
No,
I said?
Fear. Creamy Mouth Fear. It's like a triple X horror movie.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right, Matt. What did you give it?
But getting to my rating, if you're following on Untapped, if you get to my rating following on Untapped at Gagne Matt.
He's gonna be so nice about this too. Like this should be.
Yeah,
this is the.
I'm looking at him.
It's gonna be so nice.
Like I said,
I'm not trying to interrupt him.
It's drinkable. I gave it a 3. That's
Wow.
It's low end. That's low end for me. It's
For Matt, that's low. That's like a 2.25 for me.
But it's just I couldn't give it under a 3 because I drank it pretty quick.
You can say
I'm
it's
not gonna
not
lie.
good. Like with respectfully, TCB. Like we've put on a lot of your stuff. We've been really kind about a lot of things. But if it's not good, it's not good.
But
Matt,
it wasn't. It wasn't
under
bad.
a 3 on Untapped?
Yeah, I've given lots of stuff under a 3.
Okay. I wasn't sure. You're very generous. Matt's a nice guy. He doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
No,
I think
and
that's what it
also
is.
like I just like beer, and like I said, it's not bad.
That's true.
It's just not overly good.
Now, Matt, if I was to follow you on Untapped, how would I write your name again?
GAGNEMA.
Okay.
That's the
TT.
part I always get confused with.
Yeah.
Is the Gagne
Which-
part.
Oh, is it how many? What's the last 2 letters?
TT.
Oh, so there's 2 of them. 2 T's. Had
That
to fit it in
is-
somewhere.
An Audi sports car, the TT.
Why? What?
Oh, that was
God
a good
damn it, guys!
in Gran Turismo. That was a good
Your
car.
jokes
That was a great. It was a great.
Jordan, your jokes-
Just after the start car.
Yeah, it was like you saved up a little
Jordan,
bit and you bought
I'm gonna
that
need
car.
you to bring the noise on the. I'm gonna need you to bring the noise on your next couple jokes because you're really hurting yourself.
That will, Pat. I mean, your internet right now is like you're on time delay from Tel Aviv, so no
Is it?
problem.
No, it's
Bad.
Tel Aviv.
Yeah, Pat's reporting to us live from the Gaza Strip. I'm gonna go next since Pat is out here thinking that he's pulling an Andy and listening to the podcast at 0.5 times speed. So I picked up the Embrace from Barnhammer. Winter ales are something near and dear to my heart. Let's start a new segment for 1 week only. Say something nice about Granville Island. This hurts my heart to do this, but their Lion's Winter Ale is one of my favorite things. I get to drink every winter.
Did you just give a compliment to Granville Island?
That's what I mean. Listen, I don't think Granville Islands does anything good except for that Lion's Winter Ale. They bring the noise with that thing. So I have the Embrace from Barnhammer. It's a winter ale with vanilla, spice, and smooth. Smooth is on the can. I don't know what you put in a beer to produce the flavor of smooth, or the mouthfeel of smooth. I guess there's something there.
You put Rob Thomas in it. Maybe Santana.
Oh,
Great song.
See,
Great song.
That was a great reference. Yes, very good. My life is good enough, I guess. Okay, so I'm drinking this thing, and I am somewhat torn. This is a Barnhammer review.
Another good song, by the way.
You know what? I didn't even fucking mean to do that. Natalie and Bruglia.
Yeah.
So here I am, and I'm drinking this, and this has all the flavor you want from a winter ale. Like when they say vanilla and spice, they did not skimp on either of those things. My problem is that for my opinion of a winter ale, it's so quote unquote smooth, it's almost watery.
Ah.
And it's like, it's missing. I think a winter ale needs to have like a touch of swishability, if you will. I think I'm
Like it
going
needs to
coin
stick
that
a little
term.
bit.
Yeah, it needs to stick. I want it to be like not on all my teeth, but I want it to be like I want to have to like pick at my a couple teeth in there to get the beer out.
Your lateral incisor. It's the only teeth I
Thank
know.
you. I was trying to think of I didn't want molar, but I didn't want front teeth. I wanted like the middle. So my rating for this. So just to recap, like this is a good beer. I just feel like it's missing a knock it out of the park component. Where if they just added that one little thing to give it a little more stick in your mouth, I think it takes it up to like high 3s. Like that's how much I like the flavor profile. But because it's missing that and I really miss it, I'm going to give it a 3. So just a solid 3. I love the effort. They got the pucks in deep for sure. But I just feel like they needed to do a better job, getting some stickum in there. Because this goes down, in my opinion, too easy for a winter ale. It's got to be a little stiffer. So Pat, over to you live from the Gaza Strip. Listeners, please forgive the 15-second delay. But Jordan, Matt has a question in the studio.
How could people see your beer review?
Oh, good point. Good point. If you're not following me on Untapped, and you know what? Let's be honest. I don't know what's going on. No one follows me on Untapped ever. Okay? So listen, if you're out there and you're listening to this podcast and you drink beer and you're not on Untapped, like all the time you spend taking pictures of your significant others for Instagram or putting up a story on Instagram to make people think you're not lonely, or yelling into the Twitter void, or still using Facebook if you're 55 and over. Hi, Mike. Whatever it is you're doing, just go on Untapped and let's have a beer review party and start helping out local businesses. Like, there's no reason we shouldn't have a bunch of people on Untapped after listening to this. So you can follow me at jsco55. I'll follow you back. If your name's Tyler Stewart, I will say shit about your reviews if I disagree. I'll probably call you out if I disagree with you no matter what. Johnny's gotten body bagged numerous times.
Body bag.
Just that guy he thinks pallets are only for paint. He has no clue what he's doing. So there you go. JSco55. Hurry up, get Untapped, and let's all start making ourselves a nice and sweet beer community here in Winnipeg. Pat, over to you.
All right, live from Tel Aviv. This is Pat from CNN. I didn't get anything really that's super out of the ordinary. I went to an Old Faithful. I went to Wayne Great City.
Old Faithful. You can't leave. You shouldn't be leaving your house. You shouldn't be going to see Old Faithful.
Okay. And I got the Falcon Blonde from OGC, 10 IBU, 5% alcohol. You know what? Every time I look at a Wayne Great City can, I feel like this is something you open up your fridge at your cottage, and it's just those are the beers that are sitting in your fridge.
Yeah.
I feel like it's got that look. It's got that very like cabiny look. I don't even know why it has that cabin look, but it just does. It catches your eye, and
their cans stand out, don't they? Like I would say, braise. Like, you know what we should do? I don't know if we've done this or why we haven't. We should review like core pour canning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we should be talking, like I would love to talk about like non-such. I think it'd be cool to interview maybe the artist one day, but the one great thing I'll say about One Great City is I feel like One Great City, you could walk into a beer store and from the other side of the room know where their beers are. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like the Falcon Blonde stands out.
Mad Scientist.
Mad Scientist, the English Bitter. All of those stand out, where other companies, I think like Barnhammer and non-such, I get that you want to keep branding the same, but like I can't, like all your cans are white, guys. You know what I mean? Like
I've said this about non-such before. You go and you look for a non-such, and from a distance you don't know which beer is there.
Yeah, Kilter's the other one.
No hiding it.
Kilter, Sucrums, and Jesus Christ, I just said that. Oh, One Great City are the three where like you walk in and from across the room you're like, oh sweet, oh my God, they catch your eye, which I think is important. But sorry, Pat, continue. I wanted to give some props to One Great City.
So the Falcon Blonde is a clean, crisp American blonde with a nice malt background and just a hint of fruit esters. So that's a fun little thing to read.
Okay. Is that someone's like? Is that like a very flamboyant ester?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a really classic tasting beer. It really is. And if we could do a Manitoba 12 pack, you'd be throwing something like this from One Great City into that pack. I think it's a really
I would
strong.
argue I wouldn't be throwing that in there, but continue.
But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. You'd probably put the Mad Scientist, correct, Matt?
No, I'd probably, if I was putting together, like, if I was adding 6 more, I'd be putting the Monkey Trail.
Okay, that's fair.
That's
But yeah,
actually,
this
yeah,
is-
that's a good pick.
This is just a really smooth drinking beer. It's super crisp and it's clean, and it doesn't hurt. It doesn't slap you in the face with anything. The flavor is really subtle, and it's just really easy drinking. You can follow me on Untapped at Pat Gagne. Some people actually have Jordan, so they just don't like your ass. And
Yeah, I've got a couple of randoms following me
yeah.
too, which is awesome.
yeah, so you can follow me on Untapped at Pat Gagne. I gave this on Untapped. It's going to get a 3.25 out of 5. I think it's a really solid effort. It's one of those ones that can't get too high up there, but it is where it is, and I'll reach for it every time I can see it.
Pat, sorry for interrupting. I went to get the beer news, and the first thing came up was Jeff Hardy's Swanton Bomb.
Yeah, that's bad, eh?
Yeah, that's really bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's really bad. For those who don't know, just look it up.
I'm gonna have
Jeff
to check
Hardy
it out.
hit his head off the steel stairs doing a Swanton Bomb tonight.
Yeah.
So not great, Bob.
Can I ask you a question
Absolutely.
before you recap? If you had to pick between the Torque Blonde and the Falcon
Ooh.
Blonde, as like, yeah, that I know that's a tough one.
I
came
think
to
I would take the Torque Blonde, just because I think, like you said, Matt,
Really?
OGC has better core pours than the Falcon Blonde that you would want to showcase.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
So-
just as far as blonde against blonde, you would
It's
take the
tight.
Torque?
I don't know. I could go either or. It's not really a clear-cut winner for that. Yeah. So just a quick review. Matt had the peanut butter jelly porter from TCB. He gave it a 3 out of 5 on Untapped. You can follow him at Gagne Matt with 2 T's. 2 T's. Jordan had the Embrace Winter Ale from Barnhammer. He gave it 3 out of 5 on Untapped. You can follow him at jsco55. And myself, I had the Falcon Blonde from One Great City. I gave it a 3.25 on Untapped. You can follow me at Pat Gagne. And now we finish out with the Winnipeg Beer News of the Week.
And I'm sorry for my outburst, but I just also looked at the Jeff Hardy thing. Not
Yeah.
good.
Not
Not
great.
good.
Thank you, Patrick. This week's Winnipeg Beer News. Let's start off with Canada Brewing. They have a new test batch. At this point, it's likely long gone. But it's a 6% smoked coconut porter that was inspired by some dude named Andrew's visit to his dad's homeland in Trinidad.
Andrew
Now-
is the head brewer at Sucrose.
Is he?
owns the
Good. I
company,
really
yeah.
should get to know this. Andrew, I did not know that you were of Trinidadian descent, my friend. As a Jamaican, this is wonderful to know. So I know I show no bias here, but we have to support the fellow Caribbean people. So Sucrums, you just went up a notch in my book. I also want to shout out the Local Motive, a collab with Vessel Beer with Bear Boutique. It's a Transcona proud pale ale. So it's just a pale ale. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. It's called the Locomotive Transcona Proud Pale Ale, aka 4 words that don't describe much, and then pale ale. So you're getting fucking pale ale.
Wow.
I mean, it's true. It's 6.1%, which I love. Available in howlers and growlers, so make sure to go pick that up and give it a rating. Torque had the last strawberry. I feel like I've done this. Did I do this on the last one? You know what, with Torque, all their canning videos look so similar that I'm getting deja vu. But this one's a tart pink lactose ale with strawberry and rhubarb. This just sounds absolutely delicious, and I hope they give some to some beer stores in the future, but we will see. Nonsuch has a barrel-aged small batch. I'm going to take a run at this name. Bear with me. Shambiersling. Shambiersling? Oh,
Shambiersling.
oh, Shambiersling 9.
Shambiersling.
Oh, guten Tag.
Shambiersling.
Only 100 bottles of this
I feel like
barrel
none
aged.
of that was right.
It's a beer and wine fusion. They wrote essentially a Stephen King novel about it, so I'm not going to read it.
Always do. I love it.
I will not be reading the post put in here with Vessel because it's not beer. So if you want cold brew, frankly, make it yourself. It's a lot cheaper and it's easy to do. Like,
This is hopped cold brew though.
does it have alcohol in it?
No,
No.
Moving on.
this isn't local. This isn't local.
Kilter.
Oh, okay, that is.
Kilter. Yeah, Pat has no faith in me, as if as if I don't know what I'm doing. Kilter is coming out with one funkadelic ass looking can called Acid Vacation. And let me tell you, anything called Acid Vacation is going to get me excited. It's a super tart hoppy and fruity sour ale, double dry hopped, infused with tropical fruits and vanilla, 6.5%, aka the Kilter Special. What do we have left in the back? Throw it in the vat.
Guys, all our
the
tropical
Kilter
fruits are gonna go bad. Yeah, let's make a beer.
Yeah, let's make a beer. Okay.
And it's gonna be delicious.
And a little low-key tease, a small little experimental batch or two is also coming. And last week, very successful. Thank you to all of you for not picking up any of this enough for me to get both of their experimental batches again. So this upcoming experimental batch comes out on December 26th. So the one there's going to be a review, and then they're not doing any till December 26th. So don't bother checking Kilter at 2 p.m. tomorrow because there's not going to be anything.
Again, this comes out on Wednesday. They will be long gone.
Doesn't matter. I'm making sure.
Jordan, going to last week,
Yes.
the affogato or the affogato, sorry, or the key lime pie, which did you prefer?
Affogato by a long shot.
Really?
Jordan likes his coffee beers.
I do like my coffee beers.
It was
I
good.
felt like the lime after it should have been in a small can. I felt like at the end of that, I was almost like there was something about it that I just didn't love. I didn't love drinking the whole can. Like the initial burst was cool, but it didn't hold for me. The affogato also reminded me of simpler times where I never really make this at home, but I should, is an affogato is vanilla ice cream with espresso over it. And it is just as good as it sounds. It is so delicious. So it was nice to kind of at least have something that was inspired by that again. But Pat, that is it, unless I missed something, but it was a pretty short week. So back to you in the studio.
Oh, thank you, Jordan. So yeah, really great beers this week. Some good beers to look forward to. I am pumped about that new Kilter release. Rebound from the beer I didn't like too much last time.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction got a little heat.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I
It's one of their weaker ones, but it's still delicious.
I thought it was good, but it wasn't Kilter quality. It was all right.
Kilter's way up here, and they released that. It's kind of hard to,
But before we go to the next segment there, Pat, before you throw to the next segment, I just want to, it's on that beer level. Jordan is an IPA guy, I think.
I think I have become an IPA guy.
Hot Fuzz, Wilhelm Scream, which is a double.
Which is really good.
Yeah.
You know what? I only bought one. And if I had bought two, I would have reviewed it. That's how I just didn't have another one to drink tonight, and I suppose I still could. But yeah, follow me on Untappd for that. But
yeah,
with all respect to Sucrums, we've had our differences on more than a few beers in the past. I love Cosmos. Wilhelm Scream, that it was very good, and I'm finding myself more and more to really be falling in with those single and double IPAs.
So I just want to say,
there you go, Matt.
Converted another one.
Matt, thank you very much. I'm happy to be here and enjoy being a part
I will never enjoy IPAs. So
Pat, that's
what I said. I said that once.
We'll see. All right, so we'll leave the beer talk at that, and when we come back, we'll do a little wrestling talk with some wet breads and some rocket ships.
Oh, Michael, this is going to be fun to watch.
All right, we're back. All right, guys, before we get to the rocket ships and the wet breads, I'd like to read something to you all.
Ooh, a reading.
Yes, so this is a quote directly from Chris Jericho. We've talked about him lately, and here's his quote. "My view of comedy is you always play it straight." Whoa. WWE comedy is dick and fart jokes. That's why a lot of it doesn't work well. Don't try to be funny, because when you try to be funny, it's never funny. And it's been my attitude with all these segments.
That's rich.
Even the segments that Pat liked.
Sure. I feel like Chris Jericho. I'm thinking only that they slay Vegas. Maybe he shouldn't have said that quote.
That's a bit of a pot calling the kettle black, isn't it?
Dinner Debonair was
Horrible.
done entirely to be funny, and it missed.
It wasn't done for the musical chops of either guy. With all due respect to Chris.
No.
Don't get me wrong. I laughed. I felt the Vegas part was them trying to be hard to be funny, as opposed to the Dinner Debonair was them trying something. That makes sense.
What? No, that doesn't make sense. No.
I kind of see what you're saying because the Debonair was somewhat original in that the Vegas thing was not at all.
No.
Do you think they thought Debonair hit?
Yes.
You know what? Maybe it did with the fucking marks they have down there in the crowd who just do everything they want them to.
I think from a rating standpoint, I think it hit the ratings that they wanted. But I think from a creative point of view, I think the Vegas thing was just shit. I think it was just awful.
I'm curious to see where they go this week.
Hopefully nowhere.
Yeah.
Hopefully to a wrestling match.
Well, they did. They this week was better. They were just wrestlers this week, so it was better.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But we start with off a little bit of negativity. Let's start off with some rocket ships, shall we?
Yeah, rocket ships first sounds good.
Yep, I like it.
I went. So I'll start with an honorable mention. I'll go to Raw. I am a big fan of KO feuding with Roman Reigns.
Well, first of all, that's on SmackDown. You cockbag.
Wow.
Okay, I'm sorry. I did not remember which.
You know what, Matt? That's a big cockbag move for someone who said it so
now
confidently.
I will need to find another rocket ship since you just mentioned
I'll leave it. I'll leave it.
No. Let's talk about it. Let's talk
we have to talk about it.
Find another rocket ship.
Not only did Pat take Matt's rocket ship, he also said the wrong show, which tells us that Pat didn't really watch it.
No, you know what? I did, and now when he says it, I go, "Oh yeah, his title is Blue." I totally forgot. That is on me.
That is an all-time cucking right there.
Now,
so as an honorable mention, KO is one of the best high-profile stopgaps in WWE today. He's a guy you can plunk in there till you build to the next big program.
I see the way I'm approaching Roman Reigns right now is I'm ignoring everything before the Tribal Chief. I'm kind of treating him as a new character that they're trying to build.
Hold on.
And I feel like
Roman Reigns was on WWE before Tribal Chief?
He was okay in the Shield. He was okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like KO, he can give you good match quality. His promo skills can push someone. And I think putting Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman and KO and they put their brains together, it can't be anything but great.
I totally agree.
Okay.
That's why I would have made it my rocket ship.
Well, now it's an honorable mention on SmackDown. Holy fuck.
I gotta fucking look at my list. Thank God I
wrote a loser. Oh man, I've never done that before. What a loser. Okay, so my real rocket ship.
It's probably one of Matt's fucking honorable mentions.
No, Taz versus the World on AEW.
Oh.
This is 100%. Let's get one thing straight. It is a total recycled job. This is what he did in ECW. Okay. But I feel like this is a fresh version of it. He's not wrestling. He's the face of a group and they're all behind him. He gives passionate promos. He's getting his guys over. And if you can just let Cody and Taz cook on the promo side of things, magic is coming. Every time that Taz is on screen, it feels fresh. It feels new. And I tune in every week just to see where it goes. And I'm looking forward to seeing where it's going. And when you do that with me, I'm all in on a storyline and I'm going to watch every week just to see what happens.
Is Taz the best manager in AEW?
Originally,
I
thought it was
going to. Competition's very good.
And see, I thought Jake the Snake would be better, but I think
he started off
when the Murder Hawk got the COVID, got the cocoa, I feel like that derailed them a little bit, and their momentum just kind of stopped.
Yeah, he started off awesome.
And I feel like Jake comes in now, and he just looks like an old man who sweats too much.
He doesn't look like an old man who sweats too much. He is fat.
He's an old man.
He sweats too much.
So yeah, that's my rocket ship. I'm a big fan of this Taz vs. the World. The FTW belt in this in this storyline makes sense, and that's better for me.
Matt, would you like more time so I can go, or do you?
Yeah, you might as well go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Read your notes, Matt.
this is one of the few weeks that I have actually. Usually I have a list of wet breads and one rocket ship, but this week is flipped. I thought the NXT episode this week was one of the best I've seen in a long time. First of all, second Kevin Owens reference, but I'm going to do it on the correct show. He hosted the KO show on NXT.
I didn't watch NXT, but I did watch that segment.
Very funny. The chair the part where he brings in another chair after Johnny throws out the first chair right away was very funny. Him doing the gimmick of every time you say someone's name, they come out was very funny. His little quip about I don't know why I bring all these chairs if no one wants to sit in them. Extremely funny. It was absolutely incredible. Another storyline moment I really am intrigued in is the Yakuza kind of vibe storyline. I have no clue who they're building towards revealing, but this is how you build a talent who can't. You have to be creative, and I feel like this is my problem with Io Shirai. It's like she's just the genius of the skies, and like I don't know what the fuck she is. Where the Yakuza vibe storyline and like they're building up an aura around whoever's coming in. That's being
some layers.
Done, right?
There's layers to it, right?
It's going to be awesome. It looks like they're building a faction. It's probably gonna, it never stays as high as it is when it starts, but there it is. And the wrestling related one, my true rocket ship of the week, O'Reilly and Dunn was everything it was advertised to be. What an incredible ladder match.
Incredible.
What an incredible match top to bottom. The only downside was they wanted it to seem like Pat McAfee was the one who botched the finish, or fucked up the finish for the Undisputed Era, but that was the most obviously not Pat McAfee of all time. It was just some random guy in the back. But the match itself was just top shelf. Like Pete Dunne, incredible, and I think O'Reilly has such a big, bright future in NXT. Like I think he is just a stud. So I loved NXT this week, and it was just really nice to barely fast forward a show. It was incredible. Right. So Matt, over to you with your new rocket.
My new. So
what show is it on?
I'll get the show right. So I just want to, now that I'm looking at my notes, I got a couple honorable mentions, but the honorable mentions and my rocket ship are going to go back to something I heard on, I listen to What Culture Top 10s. They have a podcast stream where it's like basically all top 10s. And
Simon from What Culture?
Simon from What Culture?
Simon from What Culture.
But it was Adam that did this one, and he was talking about 10 matches that they didn't use a finisher to get to the finish.
Cool.
And he was talking about just like the art of wrestling and stuff. And I had like a moment a little bit in the car while I was driving home. And I was like,
cry like a bitch?
No, I didn't cry, but like I felt some stuff inside.
Okay.
About how like wrestling is an art form. Like it is no different than but it's no different than acting or like
it's all of them put together.
Or painting or anything like that. Like they're expressing themselves. And for some of these people, it's like really like their creative outlet. And I felt like there was a lot of examples of that this week. So honorable mentions, the way WWE spun Survivor Series into this triple threat tournament,
right?
Kind of thing.
It's good. Yeah.
I thought that was a good idea. Okay, and I am going in. I am going in order.
Just tell them. Just say what you're.
Alexa Bliss has become.
Oh.
Every week, it's amazing.
Smoke.
John Silver. Every week he gets better. He came out of nowhere and all of a sudden I think he's the new Orange Cassidy, but I think he's gonna go further than Orange Cassidy.
Why do I feel like Adam Silver that's his name, right? Did I say that?
No.
John Silver.
Adam Silver is the commissioner.
The NBA commissioner, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
John Silver is comedic and he's kind of turning the Dark Order into a comedic turn. And I think what's going to happen is when Mr. Brody Lee comes back, he's going to whip everybody back into shape, and Silver's going to be gone.
Look
Bingo.
at Orange Cassidy. Like, just look at him in the eyes and read that Jericho quote to him too.
Just look into his soul.
No, because I mean, tell me what's different. And can we also talk about low-key how Jericho has, in my opinion, not done a great job putting over two really good talents, or someone who should be better. I feel like he's failed. He failed with Orange Cassidy, and he's failing with MJF on putting out something that I think is like worthy.
I think MJF is going to take the ball here.
I don't think so. I think it's going to come out to a petering end, and that's going to be it. Like, I think
you're going to get Jericho MJF at some point.
Shocking. Who could have seen that coming?
Yeah, I mean, that's not a shocker. Yeah. And now we get into the real, like, artistic part of it. Sami Zayn against Daniel Bryan was a masterpiece. They painted a masterpiece of a match that that is a main event on most shows.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't. But my rocket ship of the week, having to run through
my notes. Why are you bitching about having rocket ships? And I have 3.
There's a lot of good wrestling.
And you're usually like, hey, I have 10 rocket ships.
Just like, what? Holy fuck. I thought that was your rocket ship. What the fuck's
guys?
your rocket ship?
I'm sorry that I enjoyed wrestling this week.
Okay. Well.
I'm
sorry that the art.
Hurry up.
Anyways, Omega and Moxley, their contract signing. I thought I was not going to care about this feud. I really did think. I was like, it's been done. I don't care. The way they've built this, I care about their match. If Jordan, you have an ever-loving hatred for John Moxley.
No, I'm going to actually go different. I'm going to talk about them both. If this feud has been as simple as Omega attacked him in the back, and there isn't something more, I'll be very disappointed.
There will be something more.
Something's going to come out of that. It wasn't Omega that attacked him.
That's what I mean.
Nope.
I feel like, or Omega there has to be something where like Omega has someone coming with him. Or I hope it's FTR.
Adam Page attacked Moxley to try to win back Omega.
That would be pretty sweet.
Because he's lost without Omega.
Mm-hmm.
But my question about that is why, like, Omega, don't you think in some way would be like, I didn't attack you, bro. But he didn't even go with that an inch.
No, because he's got this heel kind of.
Doesn't care who attacked him.
I guess I just will be very disappointed if like it's just a normal match. Like if it's just Kenny and John wins and nothing comes of it.
No,
I'm gonna be pissed. Because it's a waste to build up Kenny. Did you build up Kenny just to
I don't think
John on
because I don't see a clear cut next contender. I don't think it's going to be over with one match.
Well, when is the Murder Hawk going to get his title shot?
He got it.
He got it.
Did
he lost. Yeah, he lost.
Oh, right. That's lackluster.
Pat, do you even watch the fucking shows?
I'm fucking all over the place.
You suck at wrestling right now.
I do. I'm not good at it.
Matt, it's nice to be the new co-host of the podcast. Somebody who
wow.
watches wrestling.
Oh, sorry, I have one bad week, and you guys have like 12, and it's okay, or what?
One bad week?
Please. I'm automatic. I show up and I'm smoked.
Cranky pants, bitch.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, wet breads.
All right.
I'm gonna go first, so nobody steals mine.
Okay, Matt, go first then. Can you give us your 6 honorable mentions before you go to
I only gave honorable mentions because I went last. Just don't let me go last ever again.
I'll try not to.
Yeah, just stop stealing my fucking rocket ship, you dipshit.
I love Raw and SmackDown. They're the best.
My wet bread is actually from SmackDown.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. I'm not. My name's not Pat Gagne. My name's Matt Gagne with 2 T's, motherfucker.
Please.
Did you say your goddamn wet bread?
Fuck.
Murphy against Corbin. The finish of that match. Why are the Mysterios and Murphy cheating?
They're the
Why are they cheating? Are they not faces?
Why are they the heels?
Why are they heel? And Corbin literally did nothing to warrant them cheating.
Yeah, and now they're like, we're gonna bully you. Now they're bullies. That's what they are. The Mysterio family is bullies.
What just happened? You took your one of your all-time best baby faces in Rey Mysterio, and have now just like been like, you're gonna be I don't even know what they are. It's just
that screams Vince last minute change, doesn't it? All of that,
or just like you don't even know what the hell to do with them now that you've gotten to this point, and now you're like, oh, they'll just go against Corbin, but Corbin is gonna need to get reinforcements when they bully him. Like what?
Corbin, of all the guys on the roster, Corbin has the most I hate you heat, I think.
Right?
So
It's just a
you
waste.
put him against some of the whitest meat baby faces on the roster and have them cheat?
Yeah. That
What?
was weird. That was weird to me.
It made no sense.
All right, Jordan, what's your wet bread for the week there, my friend?
All right. I'm going to do one really short one. Abaddon's back.
She's
I mean,
great.
Except why is she getting a title shot?
Because she's a good wrestler, man.
Okay, but why?
She makes me fast forward because
You're
I get
scared.
uncomfortable watching
Because you're
her.
scared.
I am scared. Okay, so my actual wet bread is I am pretty disappointed so far with how they're doing the NXT Women's War Game build-up.
Yeah.
The men, I thought, has been almost flawless with Undisputed Era gearing up, and they gave, I think it was going to be Pat McAfee, Ridge Holland, and Oni, and then now it's going to be Pete Dunne, which I think is like, with all respect to Broken McNee Holland there, big upgrade with Pete Dunne. But
Pete Dunne can do so much. Eh?
oh, he's incredible. Like
He might be
One
one
of
of the
my
most
favorites
versatile guys they have on their roster.
yeah, I mean, people forget like almost a 2-year or plus 2-year plus title reign in NXT UK, right? Like he helped launch the
Almost
brand.
as long as Walter.
I think what got under my skin a bit with War Games with the women's side is like, okay, so the one side is pretty clear, right? It's Candace, like the walking embodiment of Wonder Wet Bread, okay?
Yeah.
And so she's Wonder Wet Bread, and they're putting 3 people who are better than Candice LeRae under Candice LeRae, okay? And now we're on the other side. I completely thought the other team was the Io Shirai's. And all of a sudden, they're like, so who's going to be on Shotzi's team? And lo and behold, did I fucking remember that somehow Shotzi Blackheart, without really being a part of anything, the only thing she got last week was she was rebuilding her tank, which is so
So dumb.
stupid, is that it's going to be Shotzi's team. So if Candace is Wonder Wet Bread, then Shotzi's like the green bread you get at St. Patrick's Day with food coloring. I don't know what the fuck she is. And I think her team, and this makes me sick to my stomach, is going to be Io, is going to be Rhea, and I have a third one in my head, and I can't remember who, but it was someone, Ember.
Okay. Yeah.
You have Shotzi. Okay, that's like you have, I don't even know how do you, it's like making a really great cake, and then on top of both cakes, you just poop on it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So you have Rhea, Ember, and even I'll give Io credit. In the ring, great. Not my favorite champion, so be it. And then you have Shotzi as the captain. Okay. And then you have Wet Bread.
How is your champion not the captain?
Do you remember War Games last year?
Yeah.
And how awesome that was, all of it.
The best. It was
every
the best.
single piece of it.
Mhm.
And now we're getting fucking this. I'm gonna watch it because I love War. I'm gonna watch it basically for Undisputed Era. I'll watch it for that. But
And War Games is like one of my favorites.
oh my god, am I upset? And I'm also somewhat interested in what's happening with Gargano and Damian Priest and this guy. Like, I just want to see where they decide to go with it. It's
What's
pretty,
his name? Leon Ruff?
I don't know. He's like this fucking cord on my microphone is the same size he is. So my wet bread is straight out how they're building. I think this is reaching Roman Reigns. No, it's not. That's like another stratosphere. But this is like a very small Roman Reigns push for Shotzi and Candice. They're trying so hard to put these two over. And Shotzi is the definition of this segment. She is so boring. So hopefully one day we can come back to our senses and we can just have like Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez and Rhea Ripley and those ladies just run the division and not have, Candice and Tegan and Shotzi.
At least like Candice can wrestle. Who likes Shotzi so much?
I don't understand it.
You know what it is? She looks different, and they're going for different. I think
So
that's all.
Rhea, you dye Rhea's hair green, and she's way better Shotzi. Just take the fucking pants off. She's tatted to the nines.
You would want you.
Sorry, I know that's a super weird thing to say. The only reason I said that is all her tattoos are on her legs. That's why I said that. But like that's my Pat frozen.
So weird that you know
Pat's
that.
back. But no, it's like the weirdest. You could clip that. But no, it once I realized what the teams are going to be, I've never written down a wet bread fast enough. And I know the ending of the match is going to be my wet bread because it's going to somehow be like Candace pinning Shotzi. No, you know what it's going to be? They're going to protect Shotzi, and it's going to be like Candace like pinning Rhea, and I'm going to like throw my remote to the TV. It's going to be something stupid like that. But that's my wet bread, Pat. Pat, let's see if you can help save my mood because that was horrendous.
So two, I have one honorable mention. The first one is the lazy booking on Raw. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99% sure it was
lazy
Raw.
booking.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Color me shocked.
So we have Lana and Asuka in a one-on-one match for some reason.
Yuck.
No real reason. And then the lazy booking of Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax come and interfere. And what happens? There's a disqualification, and it gets us to the very obvious, the very predictable. Okay, the two people that were in the match become the tag team, and they face the tag team champs. I fucking hate that booking. It is so lazy, so obvious, and so overdone. I can't believe that in 2020, it's still a stalwart in wrestling booking. And it pisses me off every time I see it because you're wasting TV time or you could be pushing something else other than this crap.
You know what's a very close second to that as far as lazy booking goes? Opening promo, interruption, match later on in the night.
Oh, fucking.
Oh yeah, that's so shit.
The only reason that is number 2 behind what you just mentioned, Pat, is because that usually leads to the main event of the show.
Yeah.
Whereas what you just described is like after the break, this tag team match.
It's a waste of time. It wastes so much time. Okay, but my real wet bread.
That wasn't your wet bread.
No.
How many honorable mentions did you take?
My real wet bread.
You did 2.
Is Powerhouse Hobbs.
Matt Gagne does like a Hanukkah candle of honorable mentions every week.
So Powerhouse Hobbs. Not only do I hate that his name is now Powerhouse.
You didn't like that?
No, and that's the second worst part about him now. The first worst part is his singlet. I'm a big proponent of awful singlets. You know how much I hate Earthquake singlet? This is on that level. I get it. He's trying to do the Taz duplicate shit, the copycat, but it's low. It rides up. It's weird and it has the weirdest sweat stain. I don't know where the sweat's coming from, but I don't like it.
I have a question about Hobbs. I'm just going to say what I believe everyone's thinking. He doesn't come off as very smart, does he?
No.
Because he has his facial expression is very like lift up. It's very snarly and it's very I want to say it's very like hillbilly-ish. It doesn't come off as calculated.
No.
And I think that's really tough in this current age of wrestling. That character doesn't fly anymore. Like, I don't think he's doing it on purpose, which is like why it's like might be really tough to say for him.
I think what they're doing right now is that he's so green. They're like, just be you, man. Just be you. Go out there, be you. Taz will guide you, make you badass. But he comes out there and he just looks awkward. He's not Taz. I don't know why they're trying to package him as another Taz. Taz was the human suplex machine. And Powerhouse Hobbs, I hate that. WWE takes away names. AEW adds stupid names. Okay? Everything's too long. Powerhouse Hobbs, that's what you came up with. That is what happens when you let talent, I'm sorry, sometimes creative teams are just better, when you let talent pick names.
Here's my thing with Hobbs.
Powerhouse Hobbs.
Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah, put some respect on his name.
I don't hate the name. What I do hate is
the singlet.
The singlet and just the overall his presentation should be better because of his sheer size and just his presence. And I feel like it lacks.
Yeah, there's just
He comes out, and you should be like, whoa.
Yeah.
And instead, you're like,
Ugh. You're like, no.
yeah. Yeah.
Like I
it's
just he does stuff and I'm like, no. Oh. And then he tries to do something good. And you're like, oh no.
yeah.
It's just it's gonna fall flat. I think you're gonna have to go backwards with it. And it's just, I don't know, it's just not gonna work for me. I think Will Hobbs, I'm not gonna call him Powerhouse. I think Will Hobbs would have been served better to go to WWE. I think WWE could have figured him out a little bit better.
Would he not just be Lars Sullivan again?
Yeah, but I think he's better than Lars Sullivan. Is Lars Sullivan still a thing?
So again, another what culture list? Shiny toys Vince McMahon lost interest in playing with.
That's a great way
Yeah,
to describe it.
I like that. Yeah.
And
That's totally what Lars Sullivan is.
yeah, Peyton Royce is another one. Even though Peyton Royce, I think, needs
Oh,
to
poor
get pushed.
Peyton Royce. She needs to go to AEW ASAP.
Yeah.
I hope Billy goes with her too, because I think Billy is
Hilarious.
Oh, that
the
should have been
headshot and the resume thing. I laugh
funny.
every time.
I'm very good with language. You can tell I speak a lot.
She's like genuinely like
Yeah.
one of the
She's
few
funny.
wrestlers I find funny, like her and Peyton.
But yeah, so Powerhouse Hobbs and his sweaty singlet will be my wet bread. So we'll wrap that up. And when we come back, possibly what I think could be my favorite flight and a pint coming up.
This is dangerous, JR. This is real dangerous.
All right, we're back in action. Hey,
Back
Jordan.
in the saddle again.
Yes, Patrick.
I think I would like to order a flight and a pint. Is there anything you would suggest?
Oh my lord! Better than a Matt Gagne Manitoba 6-pack. Better than Matt's actual 6-pack. It's a flight and a pint. First of all, not only is he the most fit father I know, but second of all, on this week's flight and a pint, we're going to be ordering up not Maction, not Action Bronson, not something else that rhymes with Shun. I ran out after 3. Factions, a flight and a pint of factions. You're going to go, and I want to put a stip on this. It has to be 3 people or more, because if it's not, it's a tag team. Okay?
Now, real quick, what's the difference between a faction and a stable?
I don't think
There
there
isn't
is.
There isn't, eh?
No, just
No.
another word.
No, a stable also doubles as a place to keep your horses. But a faction, I'm pretty sure I've only heard it in wrestling terms.
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
All right.
Unless you go with a faction of like 12. You know, when you multiply 12 by a bunch of stuff, then it's a faction of 12.
That's a factor.
That's a factor. I almost cut the segment off. Like I almost made it start again. That was so bad because that's a factor. Oh my god. Okay, so
What a gym teacher.
Matt, thanks for ruining my opening.
You know what? For that, Matt doesn't get to start.
Not at all. You know what, Pat? You get to start for calling him out on that because I also forgot factor. So I'll go second, you go first, and Matt will go third.
So I'm going
boys.
third?
We're gonna go Pat Jordan, Matt, Jordan.
There
Matt.
is a right answer here. You know that, right?
Pat Jordan, Matt, Jordan, Pat Jordan, Matt Jordan, Pat.
There is only one correct answer. It is, I would say, the coolest faction of all time that set the stage for all factions that followed.
Retribution.
Shut up. This is the Four Horsemen.
Okay, but which incarnation?
The original Four Horsemen.
Okay,
No
thank
Lex
you.
Luger, Tully, Ole, Arn, Rick, JJ Dillon. That is your original Four Horsemen. Styling, profiling, jet stealing, jet riding, kiss stealing, coolest sons of bitches you will ever fucking see. They wore suits. They actually flew to cities in a private jet that almost bankrupted WCW or NWA, whatever they were called. They lived the gimmick. If you did not want to party with the Four Horsemen when you see them in a promo or in the ring or in just a backstage segment, you don't like wrestling. The Four Horsemen is the only correct answer for the best faction in wrestling history.
I still want to party with Ric Flair, like to this day.
I don't know his body would allow him to do that anymore, but I see what you're saying.
You could probably crush up some Xanax and get real crazy with it.
Yeah. Get
Or he
real
probably,
crazy.
I bet you when he drinks his Metamucil, he snorts it.
I just think with the Horsemen, I think you could take that faction and put them in any period of wrestling and it works.
Well, and sorry if I'm providing a spoiler, but I feel as if Evolution was Triple H's attempt to like bring back the Horsemen, but in a more modern way.
What don't you get about not name dropping in drafts, Matt? What
It's
don't
actually
you get?
ridiculous that he just name dropped like.
Yeah.
It's actually ridiculous that Pat stole my rocket ship this week. So he can.
No, don't
no,
deflect
no,
from you.
no,
We moved on. This is a new segment. You just
I've
need
made
to
it.
just
Comparing,
wait. If you
I made
wanna
an
bring
honest
that up-
mistake. I made an honest mistake. You're just being a dick.
Yep.
Now
So,
I have
Jordan-
to go second.
Jordan, on to you.
Thank
Who did you select?
I think this is a pretty well, not easy. Like actually, no, I think everyone who's going to be on this list, which is big. I am tugging between two different groups. One I think would get a lot of hate, and one I think would be pretty on board with. I'm gonna go with the people who, as a faction, ferried the Attitude Era right on through their main body of work. D-Generation X.
Yep.
You didn't know.
Bum, bum.
Yo ass better call.
Yeah. So DX, you get Triple H, you get China, you get Shawn Michaels. Then you get that evolving into the addition of New Age Outlaws and X-Pac. And what you're getting, and what's something I love about it, I think a really good faction can survive multiple iterations of itself, where they're able
that's
to
what I was
bring
just gonna
people
say.
in and bring people out.
As
What
a
about
whole,
Evolution do you want to tell us about, Matt, related to D-Generation? Since I
where I asked Pat which version of the Horseman, I feel like DX is both versions put together.
Yeah, it's all the same. It's all one and the same.
Yeah, I think if they pick I think the key is you need to pick really good people to come into your people who fit what you're trying to do. I don't know I thought Billy Gunn was kind of along for the ride. I thought Road Dogg and X-Pac fit the D-Generation X-Pac.
Okay, so the thing that's the best about DX is they created stars, because the New Age Outlaws and X-Pac when they came in were not anything.
No.
And they were kind of leached onto that group and became stars. Yeah. And they left and they're Hall of Fame.
I'd say arguably X-Pac kind of had a bit of a...
I wasn't a big 1, 2, 3 kid guy, so...
All right, Matt, on to you. I think there's a must-pick third pick here.
Believe it or not, DX was number 3 on my list.
I had them at. I picked them now because I think I can get my second pick later.
Fair strategy. I like it.
Yeah.
So,
I think it forces Matt to pick the next two teams, or factions, or he's dumb.
Yeah.
And so that's what I like about doing it.
I always like it when Matt feels dumb. It's my favorite thing.
Yeah. Was Slick in a faction?
He managed a lot of guys. I don't know if they were a faction. Anyways, I'm going to go NWO, but like the original 3.
Yes.
Yep. Good call.
You
don't want the 45-person NWO?
No.
You want the B team? NWO B team?
I'd argue I could go... you could go the original 3, add Bischoff in there, add even like Conan, the Giant. Norton.
They saved a company. Let's get one thing straight.
They expanded. They were the definition of life support.
And
they took WCW and literally defibrillated that company for 4 years.
Attitude Era brought wrestling through the roof. I feel like NWO made wrestling cool again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so when Hogan turned, though, I was having
an issue turn in wrestling history.
I
was so mad.
Is it top 5 wrestling moment or top 3 wrestling moment?
I think that's so subjective. I would say just top 5, but
okay.
It's in there. I didn't personally watch it because I was kind of just out of that range of understanding the scope of it.
Right.
And I, looking back, can understand how big of a deal it was.
Right.
I will counter your question with a question, Pat.
Go ahead.
Hogan turning, was it more important than Hogan slamming Andre the Giant?
Yes.
No.
Wow, I don't agree.
I think wrestling would have got where it needed to get to without him slamming Andre.
Really?
It was that white hot, I think.
No. I think that
was subjective.
But I mean, Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say like maybe he doesn't slam Hogan, maybe he leg drops Hogan's, but again, or sorry, maybe he leg drops Andre or finds another way to get him down. I don't know, but there's different ways to look at it. But I think like you have to have the first to get the second.
Yeah. All right, Matt, you're up again.
Now, I have one here that I think you guys want me to pick, and part of it is what I'm looking at right now. But if I pick them, I'm a fraud because I don't really know about them.
Okay.
So I'm going to leave them.
Okay.
And I'm going to go to my next one, which is going to be Evolution.
Yes, that's what I thought Matt would do. Yes, yes, yes.
I'm going to pick Evolution. I name dropped them earlier. I'm going to pick Evolution. And I think maybe I went at them a little early, but Evolution is the coolest faction of the Ruthless Aggression era and arguably the coolest faction of the last. There's maybe two other ones that could get in there, but of the last 15 years, I'd say Evolution is right up there.
They were 5 on my list. Number 5 on my list.
Yeah, so I don't think I was that far off.
I think a faction becomes great if stars are built out of it, and Randy Orton and Batista were shot straight to the moon.
That's why they were in there.
Both became champions through that. And maybe that's because they were buddy-buddy with Triple H, who had a little bit of pull, but I think they were going that way anyways with how...
Why did he have pull?
Because he was married to Stephanie McMahon.
No, he wasn't just married to her. Know what I mean?
He had sex with her? I don't understand.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
that's the one.
okay.
Sex.
Intercourse.
All right, Jordan, you're up.
Oh, this is the
Jordan,
biggest...
I left it on a silver platter for you.
You know what? You did, but the thing that you're forgetting is I pulled the biggest swerve in podcast history by telling you I was only going to look before we started recording, and actually looked into it today because I actually know the factions pretty well. I think both of you think I'm going to pick Pat's shirt.
Yeah.
And I think you're wrong. I think there's a group,
I did not think that.
I think there's a group more important, and that's going to be the Hart Foundation.
Motherfucker!
I knew Pat wanted it. That pick had to happen. I think the Hart Foundation's time, looking back, was cut short because of Brian Pillman's tragic death and Bret Hart losing for WCW. That happened and cut their time short. But you have Pillman, but you have Bret and you have Owen.
They were arguably
Owen was
still on. Yeah, they were arguably still on the rise.
Neidhart was still.
He was the muscle.
Yeah, it was the muscle. I was trying to. You know what? I had a moment where like I looked them up and
Bulldog was in there too.
Yes, there we go. So that's what I was forgetting.
They were still arguably on the rise when the screw job happened.
Pat's shirt, and he'll say it later, like the Hart Foundation, Pat going first, this is an all-time Jordan move. You'll remember that I picked the order of the draft, and I knew that the Hart Foundation wasn't going to go first round, and I would be able to get them in the second round by having Pat go first and Matt go third. This is why you need to bow down and understand the genius that is a Jordan brain. The Hart Foundation, in all honesty, I think it's close with, I'm going to keep saying Pat's shirt till they get picked. I think it's close with Pat's shirt, but that's only because the Hart Foundation didn't have the time. Pat is furiously researching because he's fucking on tilt right now.
He's rattled right now.
He is rattled. So the Hart Foundation sadly cut short, but in terms of importance to wrestling, that's a family and a faction that has been around for a long time. So Pat, go ahead and make your 6th and 7th pick.
I'm very upset right now. If you would have let the Hart Foundation fall to me, I'm winning the draft. Like
now
100%.
It's an uphill battle.
This is what happens when you go, hey man, maybe you should do your research this week. And I go, okay, I will actually do my research this week.
Just pick your shirt and move on, Pat.
I'm not picking my shirt.
Then you're dumb because they can't.
You know what? The only reason I'm not picking him
to the third round.
I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get his
Look,
shirt.
Jordan.
Shot.
Jordan, here we go. So this is my reasoning behind it.
Oh my god.
I don't know enough about my shirt.
Yeah.
To really pick them.
You should know at least enough to pick them.
I know enough
who's in it and what they did.
But I am willing to admit when I am ignorant enough to not try and
Our
sound
first shirt should say Pat's shirt in the style of the shirt you're wearing. It instead of what it says, it just should say Pat shirt. It should say Pat shirt.
So my list is going to look really old school to continue.
Pat's conceding already. He knows.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, he just lost.
He lost.
I'm going to pick the fabulous Freebirds.
Yeah, you just lost.
Yeah, Pat
you just lost.
No, I didn't.
There's at least
hang
two
on.
They're not even on my list. They're not relevant enough.
I wouldn't say that. I have them. I have them at 14.
If you watch them, if you look at them, they're old school cool. They're rock and roll. They were different. They lived their lifestyle. They were in a time when it was the territory era, and they innovated the business by using their Freebird rule. Basically, they had tag team belts, and they could switch in and out with the new.
Basically, whoever was least hungover got to wrestle that night.
And the stories that are involved with them, you have every member. I want to make sure I get this right because I know there's Terry Gordy, there's Michael Hayes, and I always forget the third one. That's what I was looking up. You have Buddy Roberts, Michael Hayes.
Bobby Eaton was in there eventually too, right?
Bobby Eaton was in there too.
You know what I think is a really good late, like 6th overall pick in the draft is when you can't remember the third member of the faction. Okay. That's really, but Pat, you didn't know enough about. You didn't know enough about your shirt, so you picked a team you couldn't name all the members. That's
I just always forget the third member. Relax, okay?
What show was he on?
Oh, fuck off.
Okay. Pat's like this is slick level loss. Like Pat is absolutely.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Absolutely.
What's the point? You're fucking dead already.
And they were in one of the hottest storylines of the territory area was the Freebirds against the Von Erichs. You can't say Von Erichs without talking about wrestling. They were true innovators, true stars. They were like treated as celebrities back in that time, and their adversaries were always the fabulous Freebirds. I wanted them to be my second pick after this, scrambling a little bit.
Honestly, if you'd picked them in the third round, I probably would have.
You could have got him. You could have got him. Like considering Matt didn't have him on the list and I didn't have him till late, you could have got him at like 5th round.
Okay. Well, the next faction that I'm going to go with, a little more modern time, I'm going to pick the Shield.
Good pick.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
The Shield, again, if every member can become a star, that's a big deal. When they debuted, they were debuted as top guys. And now you look at the business. Seth Rollins was a top guy for a long time. He's kind of petering out, going to go be with his wife or his girlfriend, baby mama, and have a kid.
Poor guy.
Yeah, poor guy. John Moxley, top of his company, and I don't see it ending anytime soon. And whether Jordan likes it or not, the guy's a top guy. And third of all, the biggest star in wrestling right now.
Once Vince got out of his own fucking way.
Yeah. And Paul Heyman was allowed to mold him the way they wanted to. Roman Reigns, but all three of them together, they were a super cool gimmick. They worked well together. Everybody had their own role. The Shield is my pick, 7th overall.
If you had to pick one of the three when the Shield debuted, like give it like a couple months after the Shield debuted, who would have been your top guy? Would it have been Roman?
It was very obvious who 1, 2, 3 was going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just by looking at them.
Size, charisma, and just overall presence. It was.
I always thought, watching the Shield, that Dean Ambrose was the best talker.
Yeah, but I didn't. I thought he was the least likely to be a top star.
It's hilarious because I hate him on a microphone.
Really?
Here's what I think happened with the Shield. Roman achieved what he was supposed to, and he's finally is now. Seth realized his potential the quickest. I think Dean Ambrose is out-kicking. He's way outperforming what I thought he would be. He just seemed like third throw-in member guy, and I thought he's done way better than he's ever supposed to.
Dean Ambrose is an indie darling, though. He's what indie wrestlers want.
Seth Rollins was too. Tyler Black was too.
But
Tyler Black was the shit.
But Seth Rollins has transitioned into a big company guy so well. I want to talk about versatile. We talked about Kevin Owens. Seth Rollins is versatile as shit.
So
is it my turn? Because I honestly feel
like go ahead and pick the Bullet Club, please.
This is a 2-horse race now. I'm getting the Bullet Club in the middle of round 3, and that's a joke. I think this is
Jordan,
a chip shot.
Jordan,
yeah.
I hate you.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, you're having your slick episode of Flight of Pine.
No, do not put the Fabulous
It's so
Freebirds
bad.
on the same level as Slick.
So the
I
Bullet
will.
Club. Let's talk about the Bullet Club, okay?
So I would have, for the record, I would have picked the Bullet Club next if they were still available. But I prefer that you pick them.
Thank you, Matt. That's awesome. I hope you tell us that when you should have when it's your pick. Anyways, as I was saying, as I'm building this incredible list, the Bullet Club
Your list is good.
so anti New Japan. It was almost it was the Japan New World Order, right? It was such a spit in the face to what everything is in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I love that they did it with, it wasn't like you had name guy. Because when they formed NWO, it was fucking Scott Hall, who everyone knew. It was Diesel. I always call him Kevin Nash. Holy fuck. I always call him Diesel right away. And it was Hulk Hogan. What I loved about Bullet Club is it was Prince Devitt, aka Finn Balor. It was Gallows. It was Anderson. It was, I can never remember the big guy's name. And Pat, you can get on me for this if you want. I understand. He always carried Prince out to the ring.
Oh yeah.
I don't know his name.
It's like
the
it's
sunglasses?
I don't know who
four
they are.
letters, and even I'm forgetting it. But it wasn't Fatu,
Toga?
but it was
Togo?
Meg. Yeah, it was Meg. No, but
Togo?
like
Taga?
Target. But the thing is about the Bullet Club is like this is the most reiterative team ever. They've had 4 leaders and kept their relevancy over the years. Okay, they were as hot when AJ Styles was the leader. They were as hot when Kenny was the leader, and they were hot when Cody was the leader. And I think it's so impressive to be able to move through people and almost make the transition of leadership a storyline. I can't speak highly enough of the Bullet Club. So to get the Bullet Club at 3, I think is laughable. I also think it's incredible. I think I would have to pick Slick and the Fabulous Freebirds as my 4th and 5th to fuck up a list this good. So I'll take the Bullet Club, the merch selling machines. And if you want to know how good of a pick this is, Pat's wearing a Bullet Club shirt. So
he's literally wearing the shirt right now.
He doesn't know much about them. He just is a merch whore.
They were cool. I wanted a shirt.
Matt, go ahead with your 3rd and 4th round pick, please.
Okay, so there's 2 versions of this next pick that I'm going to make, but I'm going to go with the one that I believe is the better of the 2. I'm going to pick the Corporation.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. It's around here.
The Corporation, who is the best heel in WWE
Vince McMahon.
history?
Don't even have to blank.
So you both 100% agree with that. What did he do? He surrounded himself with stars. And you want to talk about star making, Pat? Who did they make? They made arguably one of the 3 biggest stars in wrestling history. The Rock.
Mean Street Posse.
The Rock.
They helped make or establish, off the top of my head, The Rock, Triple H, Big Show.
DX made The Rock.
Yeah.
Or made Triple H, sorry.
And Ken Shamrock and Big Boss Man. No, not Big Boss Man. Let's just go with Ken Shamrock. That's where and Shane became a legitimate guy in whatever form he was in.
Yep. But
and Kane.
No, that's a different. That's the other one that I thought about picking.
Draft. You don't even fucking know what you're talking about.
Wasn't Kane in the Corporation?
No, he was in the Authority.
I swear to God,
Vince McMahon started the Corporation, and then he brought The Rock in. The Rock had already been skyrocketed by another faction that somebody might pick. I'm not going to.
Oh my God,
Matt loves name dropping.
I didn't drop
You don't
anybody.
even have to say that sentence.
Jordan, I'm not going to pick them, so you can relax right
now.
Okay?
Baby, I'm so over this.
But Vince McMahon did a great job of surrounding himself with all the components of a great faction and utilizing them properly. He had a mid-card guy. He had a muscle guy. He had a top guy. He had comedy guy. Like, he had everything he needed in a faction to be a good faction, and the Corporation gets picked at number 9. Now, at number 10, on my back-to-back, I'm not going to pick them, Jordan, because
you should.
I hope
you pick them, because that's not my pick either.
I'm going to go extremely modern.
Yes.
I'm going to go extremely modern, and I'm going to go to NXT, and I'm going to pick the Undisputed Era.
No. No. You.
Wow.
Pat, did I just win this draft? Be honest.
I think you might have. If you pick who I think you're going to pick next, I think
I'm not. And the best part is I'm still going to win the draft. I'm not going to pick who you think, and I'm still going to win the draft.
I know exactly who I'm picking last. I know I'm going to get them last.
Matt botched this. Matt could have competed with me, and he picked Undisputed Era. Like, no disrespect to the
That's a fifth. I think that might be a 5th round pick, honestly.
Maybe.
I think I know who you're picking next, Jordan, but the Undisputed Era is modern wrestling, tons of great workers, draped in gold, one of the best entrance music and entrance sequences
I think
ever.
my only issue with the Undisputed Era is they break up and only one guy's a star.
Disagree. I think O'Reilly will be there by the time they break. And
Bobby
Brett Baker.
Fish has a look. Bobby Fish has
He's
a
old
look.
though. He's old.
He's old. I think when Bobby's done, Bobby's just here to ride the lightning, and Roderick Strong is.
He has
He's not
205
in a
live written
faction.
all over him,
Yeah.
He's so wet.
unfortunately.
I actually can't believe there's 3 teams that should have gone ahead of Undisputed Era, just off the top of my head. I'm going to pick, once again, you guys made me do my research, and you should be regretting that right away. I'm going to pick the Heenan family.
I thought I was going to get them last. I thought I was going to get them
What
last.
an absolute tap-in. They shouldn't be last, okay? So first of all,
I don't think they should have been last. I thought I could get them last.
Okay. The Heenan family is the easiest thing ever, okay? Let's talk about, like, King Kong Bundy, Harley Race, Paul Orndorff. Oh, and by the way, like, just to maybe, like, throw a name in there, maybe just, like, Andre the Giant. Maybe just, like, an Andre the Giant heel turn. Maybe just Andre doing the biggest putover job in wrestling, and then on the way out, just going heel and putting over, and that's literally establishing the wrestling business for year to come. Oh, by the way, he also had Mr. Perfect and Ric Flair in the Heenan family too. Is that good? Is that a good group? Okay, sure. Anyways, Matt, go ahead. We have 10 minutes left on the Zoom, so we're going to have to pick up speed. But go ahead. Say what you want to say.
Number one, you forgot Ravishing Rick Rude, who was arguably his only champion.
Okay.
You're right. Is there anyone else I forgot? Keep going.
Pat,
no,
go
seriously.
ahead.
No, Matt, go.
Now, my issue with the Heenan family, is that a faction or is that just a bunch of guys managed by Bobby Heenan?
He called them his Heenan family, so I'll accept it as a fact.
Yeah. So thanks. That's like I think I might even
Not sure
forego
that's a
my
tap-in.
5th pick.
Not
I
sure
might
that's a
even
tap-in.
forego.
They
it.
didn't really elevate anybody though.
Um,
I'm just saying. Just saying.
okay. That was number 14 on my list. Now, are we?
Your
a
list
faction
is
is
forfeit.
Is a faction 3 or more?
3 or
Yeah.
more.
Then the New Day.
Yeah, that's the other one who should have gone in that slot easily.
Damn it! I didn't have him on my list.
What a moron.
The New Day. I'm taking the New Day. They are.
You have 2 tag teams.
They're
Yeah.
not a tag team.
They're not a tag team. They're a faction.
I know,
faction.
but you have 2 tag.
They're merch machines. They're comedic machines. They can go in the ring. They
Pat,
elevate anybody
They're
they're
a
against.
fantastic pick.
They're a great pick. I think I have a very solid team. I
No,
don't
you
care what
don't.
you say.
You have-
what-
No.
you
What I'm
choked
going
us-
to, but what I'm
Both
going
of-
to do now,
The Gagne
is
family choked
I-
us down so
if
bad.
I didn't choke now, I don't care. I'm picking this last team. My last pick in a flight and a pint of factions. Hold on to your hats, folks. The main event Mafia from
Pat?
TNA.
Great pick.
So the main event Mafia, there was not a lot of shining lights in TNA. AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, some other guys came in. I just thought the main event Mafia was super cool. A bunch of old veterans who came together and ran roughshod over the company for about a year.
Cooler than
And-
Aces and Eights.
We'll talk about them in a second on honorable mentions, but that was just I was more intrigued by the storyline of Aces and Eights than the actual group.
This is the most mismanaged on your parts, flight the plan of all time. I actually feel like I have to carry the show from the wrestling standpoint. You guys have both been so fucking bad at this. I'm gonna take my final pick is gonna be the Nation of Domination.
Overrated.
They have Ron Simmons. Damn.
Put some stank
Put
on
some
it.
stank on his shit. He then they put over The Rock and help establish him moving him from the Rocky Maivia phase to the Rock. And for that reason, they also were a great foil to, the Degeneration X, to the Heart Foundation, and they did a great job giving them heals.
What about Los Boricuas and the
biker
what's the other?
The biker gang.
Devil's Apocalypse.
Yeah.
They were
The
great foils
Disciples
to
of
them too,
Apocalypse?
when they were de-escalated to lower mid card.
Yeah, but remember when they survived the gang wars with a Z?
Okay, Matt, your last pick.
Pat, we're not in that big of a rush. Let me just revel in this. Okay?
I want to do honorable mentions.
Okay, fine. We can do honorable mentions, but yeah, Nation of Domination. This is the easiest flight to Pint of all time. And I think, guys, I promise you the next time we do this, I'll actually go back to not doing my research so I can give you two a fucking chance at doing a flight to Pint.
Okay, relax.
Okay, so I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna take the Authority.
Terrible. That's awful.
Because
That's right.
the other teams I have on my list,
He pretty much picked the corporation again. He picked
like, what the fuck are you doing?
Pat, hold on. You can't say that this draft. Matt, what are you doing? No, you're Pat. You don't have.
Okay, so here's the thing. I enjoyed what the Authority did. They elevated Seth Rollins. We want to talk about elevating. Elevated Seth Rollins. Provided us with lots of moments. All that kind of stuff. It was either them or the Flock.
Those were your two choices. Holy fuck.
That's
brutal.
Who would you have picked that? Who would you have picked last?
The Nexus.
See, Nexus got fucking buried by one guy.
I would have gone with the Dangerous Alliance before any of those.
They were there too.
Or the Ministry of Darkness.
Yeah, you guys boggled the fuck out of this.
No, see, here's the thing. Nexus got buried by John Cena and only John Cena. How can they be on this list? One guy buried them.
It was cool, and then I would have even picked
cool?
I would have picked BWO before them. That's just hilarious.
BWO sucked.
What was BWO?
The Blue World Order.
Oh,
I also had the Alliance on my list.
Yeah, the Radicals. If you wanted
to go do anything.
If you wanted to go funny, you could go the Dungeon of Doom.
I almost picked them too.
You know what's funny? Your fucking list. I cannot believe your list.
And if you want some fun, go check out on YouTube the explanation of the Aces and Eights from TNA. That's just good fun to watch. Recap.
Oh my god.
Pat chose the Four Horsemen, the Fabulous Freebirds, the Shield, the New Day, and the Main Event Mafia.
Pat,
Jordan.
Just for the record, you chose the Fabulous Freebirds ahead of the Shield and the New Day.
Yes.
And absolutely. The Bullet Club.
Okay. Jordan selected DX, the Heart Foundation, Stole My Heart, Bullet Club, the Heenan Family, and the Nation of Domination.
Jordan definitely has the best list. He does have the best list.
And Matt went NWO, Evolution, the Corporation.
And then I fall off the cliff.
Yeah,
and then went Corporation again.
Yeah.
Fun fact, these selections will be posted on Twitter. I want to know who you think won and why it was Jordan.
I want it on Instagram too. I want it on both. I want it on multiple. I want a graphic outlining the order of the picks.
Yeah.
And what picks were where. I want this up, and I want to. I don't want any of our names. You can reveal the names later.
Okay.
This is the easiest win of all time.
Okay. So, fun times. I enjoyed myself, even though Jordan thinks my list isn't great, but I love my list. Always love my list. So fuck you.
You have the Indiana Providence of list.
Wow.
That's what you have.
So that'll wrap things up for this week on Bros, Bumps, and Beers, episode 26. I am Pat Gagne, that you can follow.
Pat, question. Have we decided on next week's retro review?
Oh,
I want to know if I have to care or not.
Matt?
December to Dismember.
Oh, Christ.
2006.
Oh, you know what? I will know who the people are, so I might care.
So you can follow me on Untapped at Pat Gagne, Jordan at JSco55, and Matt at Gagne, Matt with 2 T's. Follow us on Instagram at Bros, Bumps, and Beers, A&D, on Twitter at Bros, Bumps, Beers. We will see you next week. Remember to drink local, support your local breweries, support your local shops and your local restaurants. We'll see you next week for more Bros, Bumps, and Beers.